Welcome back to the Forex Fortress, of which we have an incredibly exciting day today. Everything's moving, everything's going crazy, and I imagine that a lot of that has to do with the uncertainty with regards to the U.S. political situation, as apparently there's going to be some sort of lawsuits filed now for the presidency, which... Of course, the market loves uncertainty, doesn't it? No, of course it hates it, and typically represents it by doing a little bit of red dildo party, like as you see right here. So with that said, we'll start off with JC, and then of course I want to follow up on Bitcoin as well, as it's having its nice own parties as well. And yesterday I did say on Dixie, I actually would have been looking for a reversal to the upside if the criteria was met of closing above 93.5 on the daily, and of course that actually did not happen. Now I wouldn't necessarily have said that we're going to come all the way back down here just based upon that within the next 24-hour session. However, I think it's now time to be turning our eyesight towards the longer term timeframes, of which we got the weekly and monthly both coming into somewhat or actually close to an area of support. Extremely short term, yes, a little bit of a bounce here, but I would be looking for a more medium term move down to about 92 and about 92 and 20 cents before I'd be looking for the next significant likely bounce. So extremely short term, yes, a little bit of a bounce, but I'll be looking for that bounce to likely get sold into, and I'm only talking about like on an hourly right here. So yeah, maybe back up towards about 92 and 3/4, maybe even 93 even, but overall I would be looking for this one to slink down a little bit lower before it catches its footing. And again, that actually still does fit into the long-term analysis on this one, as we do see the same trend line coming in right around where? Right around 92 and 20 cents. So I would be looking for a move down there before the next potential bounce. And with that said, that is going to align with a likely extremely short-term bearish bias. Bearish isn't even the right word, just pullback I guess would be the right word, bias on the major US dollar pairings. But continuation is implied to the upside, I imagine, on most of these pairings. So let's start off with the Aussie dollar, and what do we see here? Let's maybe get off the monthly, because we're talking about very short term right now. And yeah, I would be looking for a short term pullback based off this region. Actually, it is funny because not only are we in a little bit of a short term time frame pullback region, but also the weekly is hitting the 200 simple right there. So I would be looking for a pullback likely back down towards about 72 cent even, and then I'd be looking for another try to the upside. I'm curious what the 4 hour says for a more medium time frame look on this one. And yes, after a short term pullback, I would be looking for another try to the upside, but for right now, actually a little bit of a pullback here, and then try again, probably up towards, well, maybe even up towards 72 and 3/4. But I want to see how the weekly closes. I don't think that we're going to be doing that today or tomorrow. If it is going to happen, probably into next week if I had to guess. Anyways, moving on, what do we have with CAD dollar right here? Oh, massive move actually. The weekly actually above the 200 exponential average right now. Of course, we still have another day left of trading within the week. I'm curious how the lower term time frames are looking on this one as well. Yeah, probably a little bit of a short term pullback, maybe back down towards about 76.35 to 76.36 region, and then I'll be looking for another try to the upside after that. Medium term timeframes, I imagine if we can pull them up, there we go. It's looking more or less good. It has actually broken above the last prior high right here, so I probably would be looking for a little bit more of a try towards 76.65 region after that, and then we'll come back to it tomorrow and see what's up. Looking at Swiss franc dollar, one of the more strong ones, so I imagine this one's going to be benefiting more or less or more than some of the weaker ones that we just looked at, like CAD and Aussie dollar, which typically do kind of err on the side of the downside. Anyways, looking at this one right here, yeah, pretty damn good. Now it is hitting a daily, but I imagine probably a weekly area as well. Yeah, both kind of one and the same right here. So I would be looking for a very, very short-term pullback once again, maybe all the way back down towards about 110 and 20-ish, or 110.25, maybe to 110.30-ish region. However, I would be looking for another try to the upside after that. These are some pretty strong moves that we're seeing at the current moment. I'm curious what momentum oscillators are saying. Yeah, this is a pretty damn good setup right here with daily stocks crossing the upside while it does approach the top side of the range. So of course, coming into next week, we actually should plan for some more significant upside depending upon how the weekly closes, but for right now things do look good. Anyways, moving on to euro pound, what do we see? This one definitely on the weaker side, but obviously this is not matching up against the USD. And while we did get that bounce off the 200 exponential average yesterday at 89.50-ish region, and we did have a target, I believe, somewhere around about 90 cents, now actually exceeding that towards 90.5. But would I be looking for more on this one? Likely yes, actually. Looking at the daily, does show a little more upside. 4 hours showing a little more upside as well, likely towards about 90.75, we'll call it. Euro dollar, oh motherfucker, this piece of garbage has to go back up now too. Damn it all to hell. And what do we see here? I really want to see the weekly, but this one's setting up for potentially a move. The longer that it keeps it above all these major moving averages, we will naturally have a golden cross on the weekly. And of course, I do want to want to check out the lower term time frames as well, probably a little bit of pullback here, referencing the hourly, maybe back down towards about 118 base, but I would be looking for another try after that. Pound yen, what do we see? 135, and down you go, you little piece of garbage, you. Yeah, I'd be looking for this one to come back down. Well, kind of already would come back down to the area that I'd be looking for. I'd just be overall bearish on this one. It's still just a gigantic piece of garbage. Jesus Christ, man. Long-term, medium-term, and I imagine even short-term. Yeah, we're all bearish here. Short-term probably coming back down towards about 135 and 15, or sorry, 135 and a quarter. It looks like. Pound dollar. What do we see? Hey, pound dollar, get the fuck over here. There we go. A little bit of short-term downside here as well. I'd be looking for a move back down towards about 130.40ish region, towards 130.30ish region, and I'd be looking for another try after that. Looking referencing the daily here, looking like it does want to turn the corner, and more medium to long term, I'd be looking for this one to actually pop back up towards about 130 and 85 cents or so. Looking at yen dollar, what do we see? Oh my god, powerful, girthy, and strong, as some people say out there. This one was, I believe this one was bullish on all time frames yesterday, and I guess we're just following up on top of that. Probably exceeded whatever the fuck targets that I had yesterday, because I would have likely only targeted about 96.20ish region. We're obviously sitting at about 96.44. I'll be looking for the next area to probably be tested right around about 97ish region. Obviously, this one and Swiss franc dollar being some of the more strong ones are benefiting a lot more from this, from the bearishness, the inherent bearishness in Dixie right now. What about, what else do we have actually? I guess it's time for gold. Where's gold? Gold must be doing quite well today. Gold, where are you, sir? 93rd. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, this one's gonna, oh, Jesus, this one is breakout too, isn't it? Everything's gonna do it. Everything's gonna fucking do it at the same time. Yeah, all momentum also is basically have the same posture in all these assets that we have, all these currencies and assets that we've seen thus far. I'd probably be looking for gold to play at a short-term pullback, maybe back down towards about 1920ish region, but overall, this one likely does try higher towards 1950, I have to imagine. It looks like we are ready to break the range with momentum also turning back onto the upside, while price action does break above the prior high of this consolidation. Looking pretty damn good. RSI following through as well. So with that in mind, it's time to get on over into Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, Jesus Christ, man. We said this morning a target up to about 14,800 or 14,000, what was it? 14,800 or 14,750. Let's see what the, oh, it's actually 14,850 it looks like, based off the 2-spot fib right there. That was also in line with the measure move off of the ascending triangle, and also aligned with a historical horizontal, and I believe there was a some sort of interaction with the topside Bollinger Band on the daily there as well that we looked at this morning. Right now, obviously the target has been fulfilled, and pullback time has been initiated, so I would be looking for this one to probably trade a little bit of sideways within this region. Probably does give another try towards 15,000, probably does get, but I don't think that we're probably, I don't think that we're going to see any like greater move happen like at this exact moment right here, right now from this region. Would be looking for a little bit of sideways as the target has been met, and people taking profits. Probably does trade back down towards about 14,500 if I had to put a number on it. And I'm just looking at the 12-hour here too. We're gonna close in the 12-hour in the next 10 minutes actually. No, sorry, no. Oh my God, I'm so off on timing here. No, that was an hour and 10 minutes ago that we actually closed it. Jesus, man, looking at the wrong time. I'm actually looking at UK time over here, and then Finland time over here. Can get confusing, I suppose. But still, the analysis is more or less the same, I suppose. Target has been met, probably going to grind this area out a little bit more, a few more tries towards 15,000-ish region, but I'd look for those tries to actually get rejected and then play out a range between 15,000 and 14,550 over the next couple days, and then we probably resolve it coming into next week. But again, referencing the higher term timeframes here, all of this is good, man. All of this is very, very good. More importantly, the 12-hour actually did close above the topside Bollinger Band on CMEs, but did the same thing happen on spot price action? Yes, it did. Well, shit. Should I be looking for a pullback based off this? Hold on. Okay, let's see what other targets we can come up with if it's not to do such. Let's go back to this one right here. Let's throw on our major fibs, and where is it? Yeah, okay, there we go. Next one would be about 15,100 to 15,250. So a nice little, I want to put in a nice little blue box territory right there as well, just in case we actually do approach it. That'll be the next area that I look for. So perhaps we do get another spike a little bit higher, but I would be looking for a pullback somewhere based upon this, if not where we are, where we come from already. and still higher term time frames, you know, likely looking for more. So I you know, call me crazy, but I don't think that this run is done just yet. Looking at the daily right here, here's the next big piece of information that I could actually say, okay, here we go. Now we're seeing something tangible. If you see the daily close above the topside Toronto band today, which by the way has not done that since the breakout from what was this level right here, 12,000 actually. But if it does close above the topside Toronto band, which is currently situated at 14,900, so if you do see the daily closure above there, which again is coming in 10 hours and 7 minutes and 30 seconds, I'd be looking for this one to give a new high on this run, at the very least towards 15,200-ish region. And then I'd like to see it tomorrow morning. But you know, these are some of the times where things are just fucking moving, man, and things are trending strongly. And what I've learned in the past is that it's best to actually just step out of the way, let it do its thing. Don't try to be the fucking smart person shorting the top or anything like that. I don't think that this is the time to be a hero or a short hero or anything like that. I think right now is the time to just let Bitcoin do its thing. You know, for all the people holding longs and just hodling in general, congratulations, fucking amazing. But this is, if you see a daily closure above there, I'll be looking for more on this run. I'll just kind of leave it at that. I'm curious if maybe the 2 days closing tonight as well. Yes, it is. Oh, and the 2 day, oh my God. Oh, fuck me. The 2 days gonna have a chance to do the same thing. That's something right there. 14,729. So it actually doesn't even need as much as a daily. That is natural, of course. But if you basically do see the daily close of the topside Toronto band, you're going to naturally see the 2 day close above as well. And at that point in time, I would essentially say if that does happen, I'd be looking for new highs on this run, and likely still trending actually on these time frames. That doesn't necessarily mean that the hourly is going to be straight fucking north side. Of course, there's going to be pullbacks, you know, within the guise of that. But again, you know, a daily trend and a 2 day trend obviously going to encompass whatever you're going to see on an hourly anyway, so it's not going to really show up there, so to speak. So Jesus Christ, man, I'm just trying to find something tangible right here. Do we even have bearish divergence on an hourly? We don't. I guess it's Bitcoin time again, baby. It's motherfucking Bitcoin time. I love these girthy green dildos. Give me those goddamn girthy green dildos in my motherfucking face. That's all you can say right there. There's your fucking analysis. How about that? Listen, a lot of people in a situation like this are going to be giving out targets. A lot of people are going to be saying, you know, 15,000, 16,000, fucking 15,500, whatever it ends up being. I've learned in my past, when you see an asset do something like this, it's best not to front run a top. It's really, really best not to front run a top until you see something incredibly tangible, like obviously an actual reversal, you know, lower high and lower low. That's going to take quite some time, obviously, not happening anytime soon. But at the very least, what I'd like to see, if we're even going to get like a medium-term time frame pullback, is I want to see some 4-hour bearish divergence. And as you can see right here, it's not even, it's going to build it. Yes, you know, it does have to get above about 89 read right there in order to create a new high in this one. But for right now, it still looks like it does want a little bit more. So fair enough. Very, 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 very impressive move here. Extremely impressive move. I do want to spend a little more time with Bitcoin because I do want to look at the momentum oscillators for myself. We do see 12-hour Stochs still nice and northwards. I would be a little bit cautious when it does hit this region right around here. That will happen within the next 1, maybe 2 ticks, depending upon how aggressive this move does get. But again, you know, even on the 12-hour, are we going to see any bearish divergence anytime soon? I mean, yes, you know, as long as it's below 86, it will naturally happen. But first things first, we need to actually put in a confirmed high right here, and then, and then if the divergence actually does happen, then yes, I'd probably be looking for a greater pullback based off that. But for right now, this baby's moving apparently. So with that in mind, I'd keep a keen eye on the daily and 2-day closure. I don't really care about any of the lower time frames right here, right now. If anything on the lower term time frames, maybe a short-term pullback in line with what we saw on Dixie, but again, that's very, very short-term. By the time that I post this video, it's not going to be even that relevant for much longer after that, or even if at all. Everything's a little bit kind of crazy right now, so I'd put specific interest on the daily and 2-day closure again later tonight. If it closes above, let's just call it 14. I guess the daily is a little more encompassing, 14.9. Then I'm looking for this to run into the 15,000s most likely over the next couple days, and then we'll come back to it tomorrow. I want to see something more tangible. We can maybe come up with more historical levels. Let's see if there's anything relevant within this region. Okay, well, weekly one obviously is going to be 16,250. But I'm sure that we can find some a little bit better, more tangible on a daily that's closer, so I don't sound like a goddamn moon boy. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, 15,250 to 15,150. So yes, it does line up with that Fibonacci extension right there. And if Bitcoin does want to take another leg up, that's essentially where I'd be looking towards, and probably another short-term pullback based upon this region right here. After that, just going target by target, the 2-spot 618 extension is going to be 15,450. So a little bit of interest there, although I don't see anything lining up historically speaking. So I'm a little bit more what's the word that I'm looking for, inclined to say that that's not going to be relevant. The next relevant one actually does line up with a weekly pivot at 16,000 and in about 200 to 16,400 region. So if Bitcoin does start to really close daily dodos above, let's call it 15,250, I'm actually looking for another $1,000 to be stacked on top of that run. But fair enough, that's obviously well and far away. One thing needs to happen before the next, and for right now, I'll probably be looking for a little bit more of a try higher, but I want to see the daily and I want to see the 2-day closure to judge whether we're likely to have continuation like right now over the next couple of days, or if it's time to be looking for a little bit more of a short-term, maybe even medium-term pullback. So with that said, I'd like to wish you the best of the best. I'd like to wish you the happiest of the happiest. Take care, and until next time.